Weird News Weekly with Ben and Reid.
Reid, the next story comes to us from Washington over in the US. Not sure if it's Washington, D.C. or if it's Washington, the actual state, and it's somewhere in Washington like Seattle or blah, blah, whatever. But it seems that there is a new scented candle out there in the world, and this one appeals to the technology enthusiasts, the technology geeks, for lack of a better term, and it's a candle that will cost you $24, and it seems like this one's quite popular because it's sold out in less than a day, which is pretty crazy.
Less than a day?
The stocks of this candle sold out in less than 24 hours.
Jeez. Wow.
Now, for a candle to sell out that quickly, and a candle that appeals to the technology nerds, what do you think the scent of this candle would actually be?
When you first mentioned this story, I thought, sure, this will be about chocolate, it'll be about donuts, it'll smell like one of those two things. Mm-hmm. This whole technology and nerd comment thing you're throwing my way is really confusing me. The only thing I can think of is the smell of a video game when you first open it. That smell is magnificent.
Well,
I smell that so many times and I love that smell.
It's actually very similar to what you've just mentioned there.
Ooh.
The scent of this candle is new Mac smell.
Wow.
So apparently when you get yourself a new Mac computer or laptop, whatever it is, when you pull it out of the box, apparently it has a particular smell. I didn't realize all I could smell was brushed metal when I got mine. And apparently people really like that smell and they want to have it wafting around the room whilst they're doing whatever they're doing.
I've heard of new car smell, but I've never heard of new Big Mac smell.
So you want your room or parts of your house to smell like a brand new computer. I don't understand that. Like, you want your house to smell like chemically metal and glass.
Doesn't smell very nice, I would imagine.
Because that's one of those smells where you'd open the front door for visitors and they'd just be like, "Oh, smells really nice in your house. That's very inviting. I'd like to come in there and say hi."
There's all kinds of smells we'd imagine we'd like candles to smell, but new Mac smell? I can't see that taking off, but it looks like it has.
So it says here, according to the product description, the $24 candle has been hand-poured in Charleston, SC, using 100% soy wax and features scent notes of mint, peach, basil, lavender, mandarin, and sage. And apparently when you mix all those things together, they smell like chemically brushed metal.
I mean, even that in itself is quite weird. I mean, sure enough, you want to sort of get that smell like and get it into a candle, but what are the ingredients that make it smell like Mac?
I don't get
that out?
I don't get where they've, kind of gone into the labs to make this new scented candle, and they're just like, oh, what if we put some mint in here? Oh yeah, we'll go some peach as well. What about some basil? Yeah, there's some lavender there. Mandarin and sage. Okay, no worries. Mix them all up. What does this smell like? Mate, that smells like a new computer.
I think it just sounds like a lot of people who are too lazy to come up with any sort of new ingredient. Let's just mix a bunch of these together and see what pops out.
It's ridiculous. And it's kind of weird because it comes like just in this little kind of black cylinder with a black lid on the top. And it's a very simple label that just says New Mac on the front of it. And it's almost very Apple looking because Apple stuff is very sleek and very simplified in its designs. And this is very much what this candle actually looks like.
Do we anticipate Apple getting wind of this story and saying, hang on, I don't like the fact you're doing this?
Yes, let's send a cease and desist for that one, I think.
It's harmful to their brand.
So they're actually saying that they can't imagine a better gift for Mac lovers these upcoming holidays. It's a great idea that's clearly struck a nerve, so they're going to make more.
More of these things.
Yeah.
Wow.
Now, it's made by a group called 12 South, and they're an online retailer specializing in Apple accessories. And so they're not only making just, scented candles, they make actual Apple accessories like covers for your iPhone and covers for your iPad and things like that. And they've thought, hey, let's make a scented candle as well, because who wouldn't want that for their Mac accessories?
Must be a market there somewhere. They've obviously tapped it. They've got it to themselves.
Yeah.
But, it just seems like a really bizarre one, though, because, Mac smell for a candle. Who would have thought?
Well, let's kind of brainstorm here for a second, Reid. They've obviously made a candle here that smells like a new Mac computer. If you were to make a scented candle, what would you want it to smell like? What's something that resonates with you and you're just like, oh yeah, I'd like my house to smell like that?
Coffee.
Coffee?
Everyday coffee.
Uh-huh.
Just coffee. Coffee.
Just all the time, different kinds of
All the
coffee.
time. Even if it's at 10 o'clock at night and I'm wanting to go to sleep, I'm sure that coffee will make me stay up all night because of the smell of it.
Yeah.
Like the taste of coffee, it keeps you up all night.
Well, because I wonder if the smell of that, like if the smell of a coffee smelling candle would kind of activate the caffeine receptors in your brain and just go, oh, coffee smell is related to caffeine. I'm awake now because caffeine, makes me awake.
Well, that's my greatest fear, so maybe I need to put that on the back burner and come up with a new idea. What about you?
Maybe something along the lines of new basketball smell. Because when you get yourself a new basketball, it's got that really kind of new leathery smell to it. And you're just like, oh yeah, that leathery, rubbery smell of a new basketball. I like that. And that would be kind of cool too.
So glad you said basketball in that.
Leathery, rubbery basketball. Yes, definitely a basketball. Nothing else. I'm not into those weird kind of things.
Immature, Reid.
But yeah, like something like that would be interesting. And it'd be kind of interesting for your whole, like, a bedroom of your house to smell like a new basketball.
Well, here's a weird one. I like the smell of, when you're getting tennis balls and they come up in that little can or that tin. Uh-huh. You open that tin.
Yeah.
Mate, the smell of that, it's a weird smell because it's tennis balls, but the smell of that, I just adore it. I mean, wow.
Actually, I'm surprised someone hasn't launched a scented candle that smells like permanent marker.
Oh.
Because so many people pull the caps off their permanent markers and just go, oh, chemically. But apparently that's really bad for your sinuses.
In high school, I had a few kids who did that sort of thing, and they didn't come to school for a few days because they tried that day after day.
Yeah.
It wasn't good for their health.
It kind of messes with your sinuses, apparently, and goes up into your brain and just makes you really kind of woozy and ill, I guess.
Yeah, so kids, don't try this at home, but, if you're bored at school one day and you want to get out of school, give that a go.
But if you would like to read more about this story, we'll post the links for you up at the Twitter and Tumblr pages, at Weird News Weekly on Twitter, weirdnewsweekly.tumblr.com. Give us your opinions as well on this one. Leave us a voicemail and tell us what kind of scented candle you would like as far as a random item around the house, like a computer, like a new basketball, like coffee, or anything like that. What kind of scented candle would you like? Leave us a voicemail and let us know.
Thanks for listening. Be sure to rate and review the show on iTunes and follow on Twitter and Tumblr for more details on the covered stories. Just search Weird News Weekly. You can also be part of the show and give us your opinions on a story by sending a voicemail via the SpeakPipe app, or just click the voicemail link on the Tumblr page. Spoken by Sarah D and sped up like this because we like the way it sounds on the government ads.
Because there's so many Wi-Fi networks around here. I've got HP Print 46 DeskJet 3520 series. There are 2 printers that don't have any security. I could print I could print stuff to people's printers. That's so awesome.